Welcome back. The state of crypto after the crash. What is next? Are we going to see more downside in the markets or are we going to see upside? I'm seeing a whole bunch of things going on. Matt Hugin from one of the major ETF issuers is believing that Bitcoin will cross $1 million. But we're also seeing other analysts, like a Bloomberg analyst, predicting Bitcoin could sink back to $10,000. So we went up to 110,000. Now we're under 80,000, at least when I'm recording this video. Obviously, the price is very volatile, so the prices may be different by the time you're watching this video. But really, the conversation is not specifically about where the price is today, tomorrow, or when you're watching this. This is really about the macro picture of where crypto and Bitcoin more specifically is going, as we are going to, in this video, understand the state of the crypto markets. Don't forget to give this video a free thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss a new video right here on the channel. And yeah, let's get right into it. Starting out, Matt Hugin and other crypto leaders look past the tariff turmoil and basically the crash in the markets, even as Wall Street billionaires urge the administration to reverse course or pause the tariff plan. Leading crypto voices have a different message. Do not sweat it. Don't worry. Here are some of the crypto big players talking about what's going on in the markets. So the Bitwise chief investment officer, obviously Bitwise Investments has a few different crypto funds, including an ETF. He said the most certain outcome of the tariff push is that the US dollar will no longer be the sole reserve currency of the world. He said that he expects Bitcoin will be a beneficiary, saying the price will exceed $1 million by 2029. And what we have to think about right now in 2025 is we are potentially in the final year of this bull run. Okay, maybe it'll go into 2026, but maybe it will, whatever. Okay, but regardless, once this bull run is over, we're going to have a bear market at some point for some period of time. Maybe it'll just be a month, maybe it'll be a year, maybe it'll be 2 years, who knows, doesn't matter. But for every bull market, there's a bear market, there's a bull market after, correct? And so the next cycle is 2028. That's the next presidential election. That's the next Bitcoin halving. And effectively, this is going to be the next cycle. And 2029 is basically where we are today in the next cycle after the next Bitcoin halving. And so understanding where we are today, it is possible that we're going to hit $1 million. Although I don't know that it's realistic that we are going to, based on what the prices are today. Because remember, the markets typically, basically Bitcoin, from the bottom to the top, it's 10x. We saw that previous cycle from $2,000 all the way up to $20,000. We saw that the cycle after that, where we went up from $7,000 was the low or something like that to $70,000. And this cycle, we were at basically 15 to 18,000. 10x from there would be $180,000, which is a lot of where people are predicting we're going to go this cycle. But not just in the medium term, kind of understanding that everything else going on around us should not kind of make us worried about the price dropping to $76,000. Because remember, from the top of the market, 110,000 to 76,000, it's basically a 30, 40% drop. These are historically fairly normal drops in a bull run, even for Bitcoin. Nick Carter, who's an investor, have argued that critics are overreacting to the tariffs and subsequent market crash. He said, personally, a day or two of the price action doesn't mean anything at all. But since you all have decided asset prices are the sole rubric for the presidential success, don't be surprised when we shove the V-shaped recovery down your throat in a quarter or two, basically alluding that what we have seen in Q1 and maybe even in Q2 in the markets is not going to be in the long term. We will see the markets higher. The markets will go, like, we're not going to go down forever. The tariff narrative is not going to continue forever. And that's really important to keep in mind. But that doesn't mean that we don't have more downside. And this Bloomberg analyst thinks that Bitcoin could go down to $10,000 as part of a broader reset. So, yeah, Bloomberg's senior commodity strategist warns that more turmoil could be on the way. In an interview with Cointelegraph, he points to deepening market sell-offs intensified by the ongoing tariff wars and forecasts a sharp correction in crypto. He predicts Bitcoin could tumble to $10,000, citing excessive speculation and overvaluation within the space. He said, look at Dogecoin. It still has a $20 billion market cap. It should go to zero. The whole space needs purging, just like the dot-com bubble did. Well, I think he's going a little bit overboard at this point. I mean, listen, is Dogecoin really worth $20 billion? Dollars? Highly unlikely. Like, you're not going to be able to liquidate all of those coins and get $20 billion. It's just there's not enough interest in the market right now. But it's not going to ever go to zero in my view, though, at least in the near future, right? And most of these cryptos have already kind of reset. I mean, Ethereum hasn't even reached its all-time record high. Granted, there is a lot of leverage in the market. We've seen that happening with Solana. Look, oh, boom, Solana's almost at my first predictive price, under $100. And then I said it would go under $75. And I said it's potential that we're going to see it go under $50. And everyone's like, Cryptoviser, you're crazy. Solana's not going that far down. And sure enough, here we are. Now, I'm not saying this to say, haha, I told you so. Although, if you understand how these markets operate, and you understand just from the Libra coin, the Argentine coin, meme coin that they launched, they extracted $100 million from that meme coin in like a day or two. Okay. When I knew that, I was like, oh yeah, Solana's done. Because that's all value extraction. They're not doing anything positive for the Solana ecosystem, for the developers, for the users. They're just pulling money out. And the big money has been dumping. And now they're probably rotating into other coins. But I don't necessarily know that I agree that crypto needs a reset. I mean, we have seen pretty enormous jumps in the price. But for crypto, we have not really seen that big of jumps in the price. I mean, really, Solana and XRP are the best performing cryptos this cycle in the top 50, top 100. And no other cryptos even come close. And so I don't necessarily know that we are going to be in a bear market just yet, but I do agree that we will be in a bear market. And the over speculation is going to get way worse if this guy thinks that we're already in over speculation mode. According to the analyst at Bloomberg, he said Bitcoin's current price could face significant downward pressure as part of the broader market reset. Despite the relatively supportive regulatory environment, he cautions that Bitcoin's digital gold narrative is facing a stress test. He said anybody who bought ETFs is learning the hard way. They didn't buy digital gold, they bought more of a value of a leveraged beta. That's a fact. He also noted that sharp-eyed traders may still find pockets of opportunities. However, investors should be prepared for a more extended recovery process rather than a quick V-shaped rebound like the one we saw in 2020. The stock market, he argues, has grown disproportionately large relative to the economy, and now a reset appears inevitable. He said back then the US stock market was around 1.5 to GDP. We popped up to 2.2 or so to GDP. Market just got too high. So he thinks Bitcoin's going back down to 10. And if Bitcoin goes to $10,000, if you're holding an altcoin, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't even know what to tell you. Because like Solana, I don't feel bad for anybody at this point who's crying that they didn't sell at $200 or $150 or $175. Because I told people on my channel, I told them months, like literally months ago, like 2 months ago, when this whole meme nonsense was starting. Go to my video that I think the thumbnail says the Solana drain game. And that's literally what it is. And so, yeah, Solana was over leveraged. XRP over leveraged. Just because XRP is creating their own stable coin and they got their lawsuit with the SEC is dismissed, why should their price of the coin go up when they are literally telling the users, they're telling XRP holders, we are going to continue to sell XRP on the open market. So even if they get an ETF, the ETF buyers are going to be buying the coins directly from Ripple. And so this is not like price positive for the coin. So coins like this, yeah, these are over leveraged. But coins like Ethereum, which hasn't even hit an all-time record high, and Solana did a 40x or whatever it was from $8 to $250. Like, are you kidding me? Ethereum is not over leveraged at this point. I mean, maybe it is over leveraged, but not overvalued. So all I'm saying is if Bitcoin goes below 50,000, the market is, oh my God, it's going to be complete wipeout. And it's possible that's going to happen. It is definitely possible. You know, we're kind of in this period in the market where it's kind of dangerous to sell, but it's also dangerous to buy. And it's also dangerous to just sit in a position. So it's like, what do you do? And my view is typically in these kind of situations. I mean, look at the 7-day on Ethereum. It's down 20%. Down 20%. Think about somebody who is investing dollar cost averaging their paycheck, let's say $100 a month or $100 a week or whatever it is, and they see that $100 just in 7 days turn into $80. That's tough. That's tough. And so we are in this position where we're like, we can go much lower. But I just look at the macro environment, which means zooming out and kind of understanding everything that's going on outside of the price movements. And everything is just so bullish. It is so bullish, guys. Crypto veterans seeking to make publicly traded Janover the MicroStrategy of Solana. When I saw this, I'm like, are you guys kidding me? But this is bullish for the crypto. Even though I personally don't like Solana as a coin for an investment purpose, this tells me that the narrative is not over. And as I said the other day, Solana is pivoting, right? Solana is pivoting. They realized the meme coin thing was a freaking mess, and they need to re-energize the Solana brand so that it's not people not just thinking it's meme coins. People say, "Oh wow, this is a store of value. Oh, wow, there's technology that we can use." So let's understand this a little bit more. A small publicly traded software company is looking to become the MicroStrategy of Solana. Janover, a marketplace operator that connects commercial real estate borrowers and lenders, is adopting digital asset strategy in which the principal holding reserve will be Solana after a group of crypto industry leaders acquired the majority ownership of the company. The group, which is a team of former employees of the popular crypto exchange Kraken, bought 728,000 shares of Janover common stock and 10,000 shares of their Series A preferred stock. The company intends to change the name to DeFi Development Corporation and revise the ticker symbol. Shares of Janover ended up 842% on the day after soaring more than 1,000% at one point. So it went from, and by the way, it's JNVR is the NASDAQ symbol. It went from 9 a.m., $4, all the way up to $40, 10x in one day, based on this strategy to convert this company into a Solana strategy company. Listen, this kind of activity in the markets, right? The company hasn't even done anything yet. They haven't purchased a single Solana coin, right? Them saying that they're going to buy Solana, they could buy $100 of Solana, right? It doesn't mean they're going to pump billions and billions into it like MicroStrategy is. Maybe they will, but this doesn't mean that they will. So for the price of this stock to 10x, just based on that, I think is a little bit on the expensive side. I mean, look right here. The company right now at these elevated prices is worth $40 million. And so when it was at $4, it was worth like $4 or $5 million. So they basically bought a company for $5 million and saying that they're going to buy Solana and the price 10x's. Listen, do I think that the company is going to do things positively and incorporate Solana and DeFi and all that? Probably, but we haven't seen any of this happen yet, right? I mean, we don't even know like what they're planning on doing, what the company's, look at the business model. They made 2 million, they lost 3 million. They made 2 million, they lost 3.5 million. They made 2 million, they lost 1.5 million. That's over the last 3 years. So they never really made any money doing whatever they were doing before. I don't even know what Janover was as a company. But again, these kind of speculation reminds me of the previous cycle. I remember Long Island Iced Tea Company rebranded to Long Island Blockchain Company, but they weren't a blockchain company. They were still an iced tea company. But they did that to kind of jump on the narrative, and their stock price pumped. And they still only sell iced tea. They're not on the blockchain, right? So this is a lot of speculation, right? This is a lot of speculation, a lot of money being put into these things, and people speculating on what's going to happen. I mean, listen, Janover can be the better than MicroStrategy, but it took MicroStrategy 4 or 5 years to acquire 500,000 Bitcoin. How long do you think it's going to take Janover to acquire this much Solana? And granted, You also have to remember, how are they going to be acquiring? If they're doing what MicroStrategy is doing, it's going to be very hard going forward for MicroStrategy to increase the stock price because they keep selling shares in the open market. Literally, Michael Saylor, we just showed you guys an interview the other day where Michael Saylor said, "Oh, when the price of the stock is at a premium, we're going to sell some stock on the open market, bring that premium down, and then buy more Bitcoin." So they're literally telling you they're going to keep the price suppressed of the MicroStrategy stock. So again, we have to learn a little bit more about what Janover is going to do and how they're going to kind of mimic the strategy that MicroStrategy is executing right now. But it's something to keep in mind, right? Solana can still go much higher based on what we're seeing here, even though it's probably a little bit overvalued already, right? And we're also seeing ex-Valkyrie CEO, her sole strategies bought 24,000 Solana in March. So apparently, this is a Solana infrastructure firm. It's a Canadian company running infrastructure on the Solana blockchain. Revealed that they acquired 24,000 Solana tokens in March at an average cost of $139 each. Well, clearly they overpaid and they don't watch the Cryptoviser podcast because if they watched my videos, they probably would wait until under $75 to buy. But continuing on, the purchase, worth around $3.5 million, brought the firm's total Solana holdings to 267,000 tokens. Nearly all of their Solana tokens are now staked across 4 validators that it operates. Since early March, the company's share price plunged roughly 25%, while Solana dropped 27% over that same period. So Solana Strategies is called HODL. Let's see if this is here. Because no, this is Vanek Bitcoin. Let's see. Sol Strategies. I don't think this is oh, it is. It's on the Canadian Stock Exchange. It's also on the OTC markets, which are in the US. So you can see here that Sol Strategies, and again, these are over-the-counter markets, and this is, I think, US dollars, but the market cap is in Canadian. So Canadian dollars, it's about $314 million, which is about $250 million US market cap. And they own, what did it say they owned? They own 267,000 now, 267,151. And if we multiply this by the current price of $105, that means $28 million they own of Solana approximately, which is basically about, what did I say? Yeah, it's about 10% of what their market cap is, maybe a little bit more. 10 to 15% of their market cap they own in Solana. But again, I personally believe that Solana is going lower, and therefore I don't know that Solana is a good play from a corporation purchasing standpoint. I would probably be more inclined to invest in a MicroStrategy than a Solana strategies at this point in the cycle. That doesn't mean that they're not going to go higher. I just think at this point in the cycle, it's something to think about. And again, the state of the crypto markets, even though crypto continues to fall from a market pricing perspective, we are still seeing more and more acquisitions, more and more mergers, and more investment companies are making into the crypto space. Like this, Ripple is acquiring crypto-friendly prime broker Hidden Road for $1.25 billion, which is a lot of money, but this is something that Ripple has been talking about for a while, becoming a broker, acquiring a prime brokerage. And I think a lot of it, they've kind of just been waiting until after the SEC situation was resolved. So one of the largest deals in the crypto space, crypto payment firm Ripple is acquiring prime brokerage Hidden Road for $1.25 billion in an effort to expand services for institutional investors. This acquisition represents an effort by Ripple to integrate a broader range of services that will attract large institutions. The CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, said Ripple needs to make sure we have the infrastructure in place to appeal and expand to a larger segment of the biggest bulge bracket institutions. Interesting wording there. Anyway, prime brokers are integral to the efficiency of financial markets, including emerging crypto ones, as they provide a range of services, including trading, custody, lending, and borrowing to large institutions like hedge funds, banks, and private equity firms. Because of this, they will require a substantial amount of capital to function. As part of this deal, Ripple will, quote, inject billions of dollars of capital to provide immediate scale and satisfy the demand for Hidden Road's prime brokerage. Well, where do you think they're getting all that money that they're going to be injecting billions of dollars to scale this? Where do you think they're getting the money from? Well, if you said the escrow, well, you'd probably be correct. I would imagine they're, I mean, guys, they get a billion coins unlocked every single month. Even if they only use 25% of that, they use $250 million, sorry, 250 million XRP coins. If they sell 200 million at the current prices, they're basically making 500 million a month. I mean, you do the math there. I think they're going to be fine. And this is one of the ongoing conversations that we're having with Ripple. Is Ripple going to increase the price of XRP, or is Ripple going to increase the value of Ripple? Because if Ripple goes IPO, Ripple's sole focus is Ripple as a company. It's not XRP. But I think until they unlock all the coins from escrow, they do have some type of responsibility to keep the XRP price pushed higher, or I should say, not suppress the price by continuing to sell and ignoring XRP completely. Because the thing is, if they do that, then they can't sell more XRP on the open market and make more money that way. This is a cash flow for Ripple, in my view, them selling the escrow coins. Now, whether you agree with it or not, if you're investing at this point, you understand that XRP, 40% of the supply, something like that, is in Ripple's hands. And although Ripple can only unlock a billion a month, that's still a billion coins a month that could be flooding the markets. But again, Ripple is not flooding the markets. They're kind of pacing the markets. When the market goes up a little bit, similar to what MicroStrategy is doing. When their price goes up, they sell some. The price goes down, they hold. The price goes up, they sell some. And this, again, is going to cash flow their business. This is how they're going to continue to operate the way that they're operating, the same way MicroStrategy is going to keep taking out more and more debt and sell more and more stock to buy more and more Bitcoin, because this is their strategy. Now, moving right along, and just to show you that there's other things going on in the markets beyond, just the big wigs. We are also now seeing Liza raising $1.4 million to expand Tezos-based crypto payment service for retail. Now, we haven't really heard from Tezos in quite a while, but Tezos was really big in the previous cycles, especially from a marketing towards large financial institutions and large corporations. $1.4 million, generally speaking, is a very small amount of money, but it is interesting that they're doing this on Tezos. So the payment hub, Liza, said to raise 1.3 million euros or $1.4 million in seed funding to expand the development of their platform. This, we're not going to talk about who donated, it doesn't matter. Liza, which is built on Tezos, allows consumers with crypto to make everyday payments in retail and e-commerce environments. Merchants collect payments in crypto and receive fiat directly to their bank accounts. So it's effectively similar to what like a Western Union can do or a 7-Eleven can do. I think they have 7-Eleven similar company in Mexico that does the same thing. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, following this round, Liza's next step is to launch on Tezos' layer 2 called EtherLink, which is compatible with the EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine. And so they said, our goal is to make accepting payments in crypto so easy that merchants have to ask themselves, why wouldn't I do that? They're not the only company that's raising money for crypto. We're now also hearing private equity giant Apollo invest in real-world asset platform called Plume. Now, remember, real-world assets, we talk about this a lot with Goldfinch. This is really the next kind of iteration of what's going on chain, right? Real world assets that you can tokenize. Plume, a blockchain platform focused on real world assets, said that they secured an investment from funds managed by private equity giant Apollo Management as they look to scale up their infrastructure and bring more traditional financial products on chain. They didn't disclose the terms of the funding according to the Plume spokesperson, but they said it was a seven-figure investment. And so as you guys can see, there is a lot going on in crypto. There's a lot of investment going on, and really we have to kind of understand the state of crypto is still strong, even though the prices have come down. But everything is not just about the prices, right? Ripple's buying companies for $1.25 billion. We have $1 million Bitcoin price predictions. We have $10,000 price predictions for Bitcoin. But where is the market going? I think in the long term, much, much higher. In the short and medium term, we're going to have to wait and see. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Give the video a thumbs up. That way you never miss a new video. And I'll see you when I see you. Crypto on.